Not about bankers. Not about headlines. It's the collision you can see, the train of debt against the granite wall of scarcity. The impact is inevitable. Steel bends, sparks fly, and the wall does not move. Debt shatters against scarcity. You're trapped on the rails. Behind, a massive locomotive of fiat debt accelerates. Ahead, an immovable granite wall, the fixed truth of 21 million. They see speed. You see the tracks. And you know, the crash is certain. The invisible thief. Unseen. Relentless. Already stealing time, already dismantling your future. You sip your coffee. You drive to work. You drift into sleep. Meanwhile, a hidden equation unfolds, quietly dismantling your future. You run faster, yet remain in place. Your bank balance grows. But what it buys shrinks every year. Not a feeling. Math. $123 trillion in circulation. $30 trillion printed in just 4 years. Pause. Think about that. Nearly a quarter of all the money ever created by human civilization was conjured out of thin air while we were sitting at home during a pandemic. World debt stands at $323 trillion. That's 3 times everything humanity makes in a year. How do you pay back a debt that big? You don't. You can't. There are only 3 paths: default, and trigger a global depression. Austerity, with riots and chaos. Or inflate the debt away. Print more money. Each dollar worth less. Pay back a big debt. With small money. But where does that value come from? It's transferred, silently, from the person holding the currency to the person who issued the debt. It is a theft of time. The granite wall. Enter Bitcoin. In a world of infinite printing, Bitcoin is the only thing that is truly finite. There will only ever be 21 million. Not 21,000,001. Not 21 million unless the government gets into a war. Just 21 million. We have already mined 95% of them. Why does this matter right now, in April 2024, the Bitcoin halving took place? Every 4 years, new issuance is cut in half. Today, only 450 coins are created daily. By 2028, that number falls to 225. We are witnessing the most inelastic supply curve ever engineered colliding with the largest monetary expansion in history. When an unstoppable force, printing, hits an immovable object, 21 million, the only thing that can move is the price. The gold fallacy. People often compare Bitcoin to gold. Gold has a market cap of roughly $15 trillion. For thousands of years, it was the best lifeboat we had. But gold is flawed. Is gold actually scarce? Not really. Every year, the supply of gold grows by about 1.7%. If the price of gold doubles tomorrow, every mining company on Earth will start digging deeper. They'll find new deposits. They'll find gold in the ocean. Eventually, they'll find it on asteroids. Bitcoin is the first asset in human history where a higher price does not lead to more supply. If Bitcoin goes to $1 million tomorrow, the network will still only produce 450 coins a day. It is perfectly, stubbornly scarce. The institutional vacuum. For 10 years, Bitcoin was a toy for nerds and rebels. But in January 2024, the gates were kicked open. The SEC approved spot Bitcoin ETFs, and the smart money didn't just walk in, they charged. BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, now holds over 800,000 Bitcoin. MicroStrategy holds nearly 600,000. These aren't traders looking for a quick 10% profit. These are strategic reserves. They are taking Bitcoin off the market and locking it in a digital vault for decades. What happens to the price when the supply evaporates? Currently, institutions are buying Bitcoin at a rate that is sometimes 10 times the daily production. We are entering a supply shock. The tradable float, the amount of Bitcoin actually available to buy, is shrinking every single day. The multi-million-dollar floor. Many people hear $1 million Bitcoin and think it's a bubble. But if you understand the debasement of the dollar, $1 million is actually the floor. If Bitcoin captures just 10% of gold's monetary premium, each coin is worth $139,000. That's a conservative, safe number. But Bitcoin is better than gold. It's easier to move, harder to confiscate, and impossible to fake. If Bitcoin reaches a 5% reserve allocation in the global M2 supply, which is growing at 6% annually, by 2030, the price hits $444,000. But what if the system breaks? When debt to GDP ratios cross 125%, history tells us the currency eventually collapses. If the dollar, the euro, or the yen lose their legitimacy, capital won't just trickle into Bitcoin. It will flood. If Bitcoin captures 25% of the global monetary premium as fiat completes its debasement cycle, we aren't talking about $500,000 anymore. We are talking about $1 million to $5 million per coin. This isn't optimism. It's the result of dividing a fixed number, 21 million, by an ever-expanding number, trillions of debt. The final window. We are living through a regime change. The era of safe bonds and stable cash is dead. If you hold cash, you are holding a melting ice cube. If you hold government debt, you are holding a promise from a debtor who is already bankrupt. Are you ready for the volatility? Bitcoin will swing 20% in a day. It will crash, it will burn, and the headlines will call it dead for the 500th time. But volatility is simply the price you pay for an asset that cannot be debased. You can have nominal stability, cash, and lose your purchasing power, or you can have volatility, Bitcoin, and preserve your wealth. You cannot have both. The wealthy have already made their choice. They are front-running the transition. They are moving their wealth outside the legacy system before the door slams shut. The math is finished. The variables are set. The only question left is, will you be holding the ruler, or the thing being measured? Dust rises. Silence follows. The world watches as debt meets its limit. The train is coming. The wall is waiting. Where will you be standing when they meet?